So you want to hear about my run-in with the police in Hawaii? I'll tell you about my run-in with the police here in Hawaii. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. Hopefully, your day is going so much better than mine here in Hawaii. Let me tell you about this run-in that I had with the police here in Hawaii. Completely unexpected and quite unpleasant, if I do say so myself. Here's what happened. So here I am, tourist YouTuber, biking down the streets of Waikiki on a beaky. And to be fair, I was biking on the sidewalks of Waikiki, biking down the sidewalks off to my next destination. Wanted to check out some more of Ala Moana. I wasn't vlogging at the time, but you've seen me on the beaky, on the sidewalks, and on the road here in Waikiki. And so that was me on that particular day, just biking down the sidewalks, minding my own business, when all of a sudden, a few police officers were parked in front of a gas station and they started calling out, hey, 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 stop, you there. Hey, stop, you there. I'm not sure if that's exactly what they said. It's approximately how they had me stop and come over to where they were. The officers then told me that it was illegal to bike on the sidewalks in Waikiki. This is Waikiki specifically, where you're not allowed to bike on the sidewalks. My understanding is it might be allowed in other parts of Hawaii, but it's definitely not allowed in Waikiki. I didn't see any signage indicating that I wasn't allowed to bike on the sidewalks, and so of course I was surprised. I told them I apologized for biking on the sidewalks and I'll be sure to bike in the road, but that wasn't it. No. The officer then proceeded to ask me how long I was in Waikiki and wrote me a biking ticket for biking on the sidewalks. Again, keep in mind, I'm not from Waikiki, not from Hawaii, and I had no idea that this was a law. I want to point out again that there was no signage near the beaky stations, anywhere else on the road saying you need to bike in the street. When looking at the streets, it didn't really seem like there was space in the street. And the officer advised me that if there was no bike lane on your side of the street, you just bike as close to the curb as possible. I personally don't love the idea of biking in the middle of the street with no bike lane with cars, depending upon where you are on the road. So I immediately decided at that point, I was done. Done with the bike, no more biking in Waikiki. If I want to get somewhere, I'll try the bus, or maybe I will walk. Unfortunately though, that was not enough for me to not get written a ticket. They wrote me a ticket for biking on the sidewalks in Waikiki. Now, I did mention to them that I wasn't around for long, maybe a couple of weeks, but I guess that wasn't necessarily a deciding factor in determining whether or not to write me a ticket. And I feel like getting a ticket here in Waikiki is especially challenging for me because they probably know that I won't be going into a court office in order to contest the ticket. This is what that ticket looks like here in Waikiki, just to give you a visual of what those tickets look like. It's a $55 ticket for biking on the sidewalk in Waikiki. I really wish I'd known in advance that it was illegal to bike on the sidewalks in Waikiki, and again, was apologetic, and I most definitely will not be biking on the sidewalks in Waikiki again in the future. I probably won't be biking in Waikiki at all in the future, but I still got this ticket. Now, I did read through the documentation and found there's a few ways to contest the ticket, including writing a letter to the Traffic Violations Bureau in order to see if they'll be willing to excuse you from the ticket. So I had to wrangle together, write a letter, print it out. I had to find an envelope and get stamps, which you may have seen me do recently, which is why I had to get stamps. And I've got to put all this in that envelope and mail it off to them in order to see if they'll excuse me from that traffic ticket. It's most definitely unfun to be getting a traffic ticket, especially in addition to all these other unexpected expenses, from resort fees, trying to figure out some other transportation options, the cost of food, which we didn't account for in some settings, but mostly the cost of housing and accommodations while we're here. I was sad to receive that traffic ticket, and it definitely put a damper on the day. As you know, I vlogged pretty much everything, but wasn't vlogging that day, so it was one of those days. I'm hopeful that my taking the time to write the letter will help me get excused from the ticket, especially since I didn't know the policy, and I've never really had any sort of traffic violation or infraction, I don't think, in the past. It is a process to get together all that documentation from the envelope to the letter, and so I wanted to make this video to make you aware that you can't bike on the sidewalks in Waikiki. I know, and I want to make sure you know, especially since I did it in a video, I want to make sure you know that you can't do it. We'll see how this situation plays out. It really is unfortunate that I got that ticket. I feel fortunate in the sense that it could be a lot worse. There are most definitely more expensive traffic violations in Hawaii, and I feel fortunate that I didn't get one of those. That being said, I wish there was some sort of visual warning, or that they would give you some sort of warning when they tell you about this. Something to keep in mind, something to look out for, in case you find yourself in this situation. It's one of the challenges here in Hawaii, but I wanted to take the time to share it with you, and we will work through it regardless. Even if I have to pay the fine, I will make it work. It'll be all right. So, gotta focus on those positive vibes, gotta focus on the silver lining. It's one ticket that I got one time, not extremely expensive, but I'm still not thrilled that I got it. So glad, though, that I've been having the chance to share these other Hawaii adventures with you, and I'm excited for the continuation, perhaps even the grand finale you've probably seen at this point, of the Hawaii adventures. So much more fun to come before you know it. But just know, there are challenges that arise. Of course, there's plenty of other challenges in life too, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but it's how you focus and look for the positive that really makes a difference. It's not how you find yourself in a situation, but it's how you choose to respond to that situation. And as much as it was disheartening, frustrating, uncomfortable at first, to say the least, I like to think I was able to put it behind me and move on and focus on the other fun activities here in Hawaii, like the delicious dinners that I've been enjoying lately and the new hotel stay I'm so excited to share with you coming up soon. Have you ever found yourself in this situation, getting a ticket in a city or a state you haven't been in before, or perhaps one you have been in before that you care to share? If so, feel free to let us know in the comments below. Hopefully you found this video interesting and informative, to say the least, if not unique from our usual positive vibes. I wanted to keep you informed of that real life heavy stuff too, because I've never had this sort of situation happen. I thought it might be interesting to share. Thanks so much for helping me to make this day an amazing day. Any day, we will make an amazing day. Some may be more challenging than others, but always making it amazing and focus on those positive vibes. Don't forget to make your day amazing as well. Focus on those positive vibes. Look for those silver linings. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to stay informed of other positive vibes and silver linings in the future. And until next time, play on.